Let me ask you something, and don't brush it off. What does your calendar say about your life? Not your words, not your vision board, not your good intentions. I'm talking about your actual schedule. Because here's the brutal truth. If it's not scheduled, it's not real. It's a fantasy, a wish, a lie you keep telling yourself to feel better about procrastination. Comment, I schedule what matters if you're ready to take control. You say your health matters, but where is it on your calendar? You say you want to build wealth, then show me the hours blocked out for creation, strategy, execution. You talk about wanting peace, clarity, growth, but your schedule is packed with chaos, noise, and distractions. You're not lacking time. You're leaking it. You're not overwhelmed. You're unstructured. Your life isn't being destroyed by what you're doing. It's being destroyed by what you're not doing because you never made space for it. Your calendar is a mirror. It doesn't lie. It doesn't care about your intentions. It reveals your identity. You either lead your time or you get led by everything else. Demands, crises, scrolling, noise. There is no neutral ground. Your goals mean nothing without time. Your vision is powerless without structure. Your discipline dies the moment you leave it up to when I feel like it. Stop letting your emotions decide your destiny. Put your mission on paper. Own your hours. Because time doesn't wait. It doesn't pause. It doesn't care. You either claim it or someone else will. Understand this. Life rewards the scheduled, the focused, the intentional, the person who says, I block time for what I value. You don't build greatness from leftover hours. You build it from sacred blocks of time, guarded like treasure. You want to become powerful? Then start living like your calendar is your most important investment, because it is. So here's your wake-up call. Stop saying one day. Stop saying when I have time. That time doesn't magically appear. You make it. You block it. You own it. Every minute you don't schedule is a minute up for grabs, for distraction, for other people's priorities. If it's important, schedule it. Otherwise, stop pretending it matters. Let me teach you something. The average person never learns. Structure is not a limitation. It's liberation. Most people run from structure because they think it's a cage, but here's the truth. Chaos is the real prison, and structure is the key. Because when you design your days, you free yourself from distractions. When you schedule your priorities, you take back your power. People talk about discipline like it's a mystery. It's not. Discipline is a decision backed by a calendar. It's not about being tough or strong. It's about being clear. The moment you write it down, it becomes real. The moment you assign it a time, it becomes sacred. The undisciplined life isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of poor structure. You want to level up? Then stop waking up without a plan. Stop leaving your life to moods, motivation, or memory. That's how amateurs live. Professionals live by a system. You brush your teeth because it's built into your routine, not because you're inspired. You eat meals because they're structured into your day. What if you treated your goals the same way? Let me ask you something direct. What time do you grow? What time do you build? What time do you reflect, pray, move, plan, create? If you can't answer that with clarity, then you're not living intentionally. You're reacting, and life doesn't reward reactors. Life rewards designers. Life rewards those who make time for what matters. A successful life is not a mystery. It's a schedule. It's a planner filled with non-negotiables. It's daily time blocks that say, this is who I'm becoming. You don't have to be busy. You have to be focused. You don't need more hours. You need more alignment. And alignment happens when your schedule matches your vision. So if you want transformation, don't start with your motivation. Start with your structure. Don't wait until you feel ready. Put it on the calendar now, because once it's written down, it becomes your contract. And when you honor your calendar starts honoring you with results, with progress, with power. Let's get something straight. Your time is not free. It's not casual. It's not disposable. It's currency, the most valuable currency you'll ever have. And how you spend it is the clearest sign of what you truly value. You can say you want success. If your time is spent on distraction, what you really value is comfort. and comfort never built a legacy. Think about this. You never get a refund on wasted time. You don't get to rewind the hour you spent scrolling. You don't get to relive the day you gave to someone else's chaos. Time is not recyclable. Once it's gone, it's gone. So ask yourself, who or what is cashing in your time? Is it worth it? Is it aligned with who you want to become? Some people schedule their errands. They schedule their Zoom calls. They schedule birthday parties. But their dreams, their personal growth, their healing, their wealth-building hours, never scheduled, always pushed, always optional, always forgotten. You don't become great by accident. You become great by schedule. It's time to stop treating your goals like side dishes and start treating them like the main course. If you block time for a dentist, a meeting, or a show you like, why won't you block time to master your craft? Why won't you guard time for vision, peace, and purpose? You're not too busy. You're just not committed to what you claim matters. Let me make this brutally clear. Your life is a result of what you repeat, and what you repeat is what you schedule. The calendar doesn't lie. It doesn't judge. It simply reflects. So if your results are inconsistent, it's probably because your structure is inconsistent. And the fix isn't magic. It's management of your minutes, of your choices, of your commitments. You don't need another inspirational video. You need execution. And execution lives on the calendar. What gets scheduled gets done. What gets done changes who you are. And when who you are changes, everything else follows. You want transformation, look at your time. That's where it begins. That's where it's built. Let me break a myth that's keeping you stuck. Motivation is not the problem. Your system is. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You just haven't built the schedule that pulls you forward when your feelings push you back. Motivation may start the fire, but only structure keeps it burning. You don't rise to your inspiration. You fall to your systems. You say you want momentum, then you better get serious about repetition. Daily, structured, focused repetition. That's how champions are built. That's how legacies are made. Not in one big effort, but in 1,000 small commitments, repeated without excuse. And repetition doesn't happen by chance. It happens by calendar. You're not inconsistent because you lack willpower. You're inconsistent because you lack rhythm. Rhythm doesn't come from memory. It comes from muscle, and muscles are trained by action. You train your habits by honoring time blocks. You train your identity by showing up when you said you would, not just when you feel like it. Let me ask you something confronting. How many promises have you broken to yourself because they weren't scheduled? How many mornings did you say, I'll get to it, and never did? How many dreams have died in the cracks of an unplanned day? You've got to stop treating your destiny like a hobby. Put it on the calendar. Lock it in. Then guard it like gold. Professionals don't rely on hope. They rely on habits. And habits live in routine. And routine lives on the schedule. If you want to make your vision your reality, then you must give it a place in time. A place where it shows up daily, repeatedly, predictably. That's how you get better. That's how you build momentum that doesn't quit. So let me say it again. Structure is freedom. Routine is power. Repetition is identity. You are what you do. And what you do most consistently is what you scheduled. So if you're tired of starting over, stop quitting. And if you're tired of quitting, start planning. Because the calendar is not a suggestion, it's a blueprint. Let me show you why your future is being stolen. Not by failure, but by distraction. Every day, something is trying to hijack your attention. Notifications, emergencies, noise. But distraction only wins when there's no plan. The reason you keep getting pulled off course is because you never marked the course in the first place. No structure, no focus, no progress. If your time isn't protected, it's taken. It's that simple. If you don't block time for growth, the world will block it for nonsense. If you don't schedule peace, chaos will fill the gap. You can't keep playing defense with your life. You've got to move to offense. That means deciding in advance what matters and locking it into your calendar before someone else does. Listen closely. Life doesn't get easier, you just get stronger. And strength is built through structure. When you schedule your goals, you eliminate guesswork. When you schedule your habits, you eliminate friction. And when you eliminate friction, you create flow. That's how the high performers operate. Not by chance, by choice. Structured, repeated, disciplined choice. The person with a calendar wins against the person with a wish list. Every time, because the calendar is where discipline lives. The calendar is where consistency breathes. The calendar is where your higher self says, this is what I do now. This is who I am. And every time you follow it, you cast a vote for the person you want to become. Let me be direct. If your calendar is empty, your destiny is empty. You can't build a powerful life on vague ideas. You need time. You need blocks. You need structure. You need strategy. This is not about being rigid. It's about being relentless. Relentless about protecting what matters, even from your own excuses. So draw the line today. Say enough to drift, enough to reaction, enough to chaos. From now on, you lead your time. From now on, you show up for your future, one time block at a time, one commitment at a time, because no one builds a legacy on accident. They build it on schedule. Let me drop a truth most people never accept. Your dreams don't need more belief. They need more discipline. Hope without structure is a recipe for frustration. Passion without planning is just noise. You've been dreaming long enough? It's time to get to work. And the first place you work is the planner, because clarity begins with commitment. You say you want success? Then make it visible. Let your calendar prove it. Stop telling people what you're going to do and start showing them what you've scheduled. Your planner should scream your purpose. It should be so focused, so intentional, that someone could look at it and know exactly who you're becoming without you saying a single word. Now, hear this. Every minute you don't own is a minute you surrender. Every hour you don't schedule becomes someone else's playground. And eventually, you wake up living a life you never chose. Not because you failed, but because you never planned. You didn't fall. You drifted, slowly, quietly. And now it's time to reverse that drift. Tall, by taking back control. Start small, but start now. Schedule your first 30 minutes of the day. Schedule your top priority. Schedule your reflection time, your growth time, your focus hour. Make your calendar a sanctuary for discipline, a home for becoming, a shield against the chaos trying to steal your future. This is about identity, because you're not just managing time, you're shaping who you are. Every block of time you protect says, this matters, I matter. My vision is not negotiable, and when you start living that way, you stop apologizing for your boundaries. You stop asking for permission. You start commanding results. So let the world see a different version of you. Not the reactive one, not the overwhelmed one, but the structured one, the clear one, the one who walks in purpose because they planned for purpose. The one who doesn't just talk about potential, but schedules it, protects it, and lives it. Let me hit you with this. Your calendar is not just a planner. It's a mirror. It reflects your real priorities, your real standards, your real level of self-respect. People say they value growth, but there's no time scheduled for learning. People say they value family, but their calendar is all work. You want to know who you are? Don't check your words. Check your week. Because here's the thing, you can lie to everyone else, but your schedule tells the truth. And if you're serious about changing your life, you've got to start by changing the story your calendar is telling. If it's filled with chaos, distractions, and leftovers, that's not a busy life. That's a directionless one. Look around. The highest performers in the world don't work more. They work with more clarity. They plan. They review. They schedule their values. They don't let the world dictate their time. They decide in advance who they're going to be, and then they protect it with structure. That's the difference between the average and the elite. So let me ask you, what does your next week say about you? Is there time blocked for becoming better, for strategy, for mastery, or is it all reaction and noise? This isn't about cramming your schedule full. It's about making it true, making it honest, making it powerful, one intentional block at a time. It's not too late. You're not behind, but you do need to choose. You can keep saying, I don't have time, or you can finally admit, I haven't taken control. And that changes today. because the person you want to be, the one with peace, progress, clarity, results, doesn't live by accident. They live by design. So take one action now. Open your calendar and schedule what matters, even if it's just 20 minutes. Because every time you do, you're not just managing time. You're training identity. You're stacking days that say, I'm serious about my life. That's how momentum builds. That's how the shift begins. That's how everything changes. Let me leave you with this. You are not overwhelmed because life is too full. You are overwhelmed because your priorities are too vague. And vague priorities don't get protected. They get bulldozed by everything loud, urgent, and meaningless. You're not out of time. You're out of clarity, and clarity doesn't show up. It gets scheduled. You don't need a new year. You need a new system, a new way of thinking about your time. Because if your calendar isn't aligned with your values, then your life will never be either. Stop trying to balance everything. Start prioritizing what matters most. If it's truly important, it's not negotiable. It gets a block. It gets protected. It gets honored. Let me say it plain. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your structure. And that structure either serves you or sabotages you. The choice is yours. Build a system that pulls you into progress. Build a calendar that reflects your future, not your past. Your dream deserves more than hope. It deserves time, effort, execution. You want discipline? Then start living like your time is sacred. Stop letting other people write your story. Stop letting distractions dictate your direction. You've got more power than you think. But power without a plan turns into chaos. So make the plan. Make it simple. Make it daily, then follow it until you become the person you've been chasing. There's no secret, no shortcut, just this. If it's important, schedule it. If it matters, protect it. If it defines you, block time for it. Because your calendar is not just a tool. It's your foundation. It's your battlefield. It's your statement to the world that says, I don't live by chance, I live by choice. If you've made it this far, drop 100 in the comments. It shows you are part of the 1% that's improving every single day.